Haunted houses, scary costumes, and spooky celebrations are just some of the frights that Americans across the country experience throughout Halloween. But now financial analysts are releasing figures related to the holiday that are sure to shock you. They say Americans will spend a record-breaking $8.4 billion on Halloween this year, with an average of $83 being spent by each individual. Costumes account for just over $3 billion of that total, while candy sales cover another $2.5 billion. So you may be wondering how Halloween reached such popularity. Well, One America's Hayley Rafner has more on the origin of the spooky holiday and how it's celebrated around the world.
Halloween night, a time for costumes, candy, and scares.
Happy Halloween! Hello!
But it wasn't always a celebration of ghoulish proportions. In fact, the annual night of tricks and treats began long ago and has transformed dramatically into the celebration we know today. It all goes back a couple thousand years. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago in what is now known as Ireland, the UK, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. This day marked the end of summer harvest and the beginning of the long, dark winter, a time often associated with death. They believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, where they lit bonfires and dressed in costumes to ward off spirits from causing trouble and damaging crops. By 43 AD, the Roman Empire conquered the majority of the Celtic territory and combined the celebration of Samhain with two festivals of Roman origin, both commemorating the passing of the dead and the honoring of the goddess of fruit and trees. By the 9th century, the Catholic Church replaced the celebrations with All Souls' Day on November 2nd, a day implemented to honor the dead. Scholars believed this was the celebration put in place by the Catholic Church in order to replace the old Celtic celebration with a church-sanctioned holiday. The celebration of Halloween was limited in America, turning into more of a celebration of autumn by the middle of the 19th century. As immigrants began flooding America, Halloween traditions were brought over, taking the celebration to new heights. In the late 1800s, Halloween was molded into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers than ghosts and spirits. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both children and adults became a way to celebrate. Because of this, Halloween lost most of its old-school superstitious and religious roots and became a fun, lighthearted way to ring in the fall season. But where do those specific Halloween traditions come from? The ones we've known to love and repeat year after year. It turns out, carving pumpkins, wearing costumes, and trick-or-treating date back to that old Celtic celebration. Carrying a carved vegetable was believed to protect the one carrying it. Costumes were meant to confuse spirits and keep them away from those celebrating. And trick-or-treating? Food offerings were often given in order to placate spirits and keep them from causing any harm. Halloween has continued to haunt celebrators across the world in different ways. In Mexico, Latin America, and Spain, All Souls' Day, or Dia de los Muertos, is still celebrated from October 31st to November 2nd. In France, it's celebrated as an American holiday and was relatively unknown through the country until the late 1990s. And here in America, it's all about horror movies, haunted houses, costume, and candy. Lots and lots of candy. The real winner of Halloween might be the candy industry. This year, experts say the candy market will experience its strongest performance since 2011, rising over 5% and hitting $3.8 billion. Just another reason why this Halloween is considered the sweetest day of the year. Hayley Rafner, One America News.